Okay, good evening, everyone. Um, Today is Monday. And if it's Monday, it is council meeting time. So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting of the Committee of the Whole to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Walsh, Councilmember Motney. Here. Councilmember Emig, Councilmember Becker,
Here.
Councilmember Urban. Here. Councilmember Ward. Here. Councilmember Craybill,
Here.
Councilmember Crumpler,
Here.
Mayor Millawamble.
Here.
I'm
Uh,
here too.
Councilmember
I
Bolin.
apologize, Councilmember Bolin.
Next item on the agenda is public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We have one person registered for public comment, Merida Landreth.
Okay.
Who doesn't appear to be present.
Okay. All right, then we're just gonna move on to the next item on the agenda. This meeting is gonna go real quick. The next item on the agenda is recognition and appointments. Recognition of firefighters Paul Charlie Murphy, no relation to Catherine. Try to get her attention. John Hutchinson and Emilio Domingo, who have completed 1-year probation as requested by the fire department. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Fire Chief Eric West, who will provide a brief introduction on each of the firefighters, and then Deputy City Clerk Amanda Stutzman will perform the oath of office.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor, council members, and Deputy City Manager Tyus. Thank you for allowing me to introduce you to 3 members of the department who recently completed their 1-year probation. These 3 firefighters were hired on August 30th, 2021. All 3 of them attended the Fire Academy to obtain their basic fire operations certification, which they started on September 13th, 2021. They graduated October 29th, 2021. After they had these classes, they returned to the department where they continued learning for a couple weeks within the department on how we do things and all our equipment. So they had a 2-week academy, what we call the Bloomington Fire Academy. Once they completed their academy, they started on shift, rode 3rd man for the ambulance for their first 10 days, trying to get some experience with our guys. And again, like I said, equipment and the protocols. Once their 3rd man ride time was complete, they started their station rotations, each spending about 10 days at each station. There they have a task manual that they complete. Plus they also learn equipment and then personnel at each station, the people that they're going to work with. Towards the end of their 1-year probation, each of these firefighters was given recommendations by their officers to be appointed to full-time firefighters. So I'm pleased to introduce you to John, Emilio, and Charlie. So John Hutchison is right here. John was born and raised in Charleston, Illinois at 19 when he joined the United States Army. John, while in the Army, was stationed in El Paso, Texas. He completed 1 tour in Afghanistan and served 4 years in the Army. John is married to his wife, Maggie, and has 2 children, Jackson and Adley. John has an associate's degree in paramedical services and applied science. John enjoys hunting and being outdoors. John says the fire service has been a long-term goal of mine. After spending several years on a volunteer department in my hometown, I know I wanted to make a career out of the fire service. Welcome, John. Emilio Domingo's at the end over there. Emilio's hometown is in Romeoville. He has a girlfriend whose name is Elizabeth. Emilio was a contract paramedic with the Wheaton Fire Department before he joined us. Emilio enjoys music and fishing on his days off, and experience with the fire department is why Emilio got into the fire service. Emilio stated that the fire department responded to me choking on a mozzarella stick. I was blown away by their compassion and their way they made me feel everything was going to be all right. From then on, I strive to be a firefighter paramedic. Welcome, Emilio. Paul Charlie Murphy Charlie's hometown is El Paso, Illinois. Charlie has a girlfriend, Allison. Charlie attended Heartland Community College to retain his EMT and went on to Eastern Central Illinois EMS to receive his paramedic license. Charlie volunteered for 4 years with the El Paso Fire Protection District. Charlie states, "I've always wanted to learn new skills, putting others' needs ahead of my own, and with my current position, I am challenged with doing so every day." Welcome, Charlie. So I'm pleased to present these three, and I wish them a long, healthy career, and thank you. And I think Amanda will do the oath now.
We're gonna try it. My name is Amanda Stutzman. I'm the Deputy City Clerk, and I'm here to perform your oath of office. Can you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, please state your name. Having been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic in the city of Bloomington, in the county of McLean, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of firefighter paramedic according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you. You want to come over here, please?
Yeah, make sure you get the right ones. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much. We definitely appreciate your service. We know you have a very difficult job, and I think most of us here will be a lot more careful when we eat mozzarella sticks. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. There's only one item on the consent agenda. It is the minutes. And if I can have a motion, one way or another.
I'll
Make-
make the motion to
I'll make the
approve the
second.
minutes as presented.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Bolin, second by Councilmember Crable. And I do believe we have an electronic link to vote. Okay, thank you. The item passes and there are no nays to announce. Next item on the agenda is the regular agenda, which is a presentation of welcoming week testimony as requested by the administration department. This is only a full presentation, so there's no motion or anything like that. And I believe the presentation will start with Michael Hurt, Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer, who will then introduce the item and the other presenters.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight's presentation is the capstone to what's been a really great week for our 2022 Welcoming Week. Actually, there was an amazing soccer game on Saturday. I know you had to miss it, but it was something to behold. I am not a soccer fan, but it was interesting to watch. Tonight, you will hear the story of three incredible women who not only came to the United States, but they decided to make the city of Bloomington their residence of choice, their preferred place to live, to work, and to raise families. So wisdom dictates, and I will tell you, these ladies have absolutely beautiful names, but wisdom dictates that I do not try to pronounce them. So I'll ask each lady when she comes up to give her name, her country of origin, and to tell you her story about her immigrant experience in Bloomington. Thank you.
Mayor, could we shut the door? It's just a
Oh,
little
sure.
noisy.
Um, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us here. My name is Rocio.
Sure.
from
Could you
the
get a
Wel-
little closer to the microphone?
I'm a little shy.
Please.
My name is Rocio Peralta. I represent the Immigration Project's Welcoming Center, and I'm gonna introduce us to our speakers today. First one to go is Camila Gronke. Please come to the podium.
Hello, thank you so much for the privilege to speak. My name is Camila Maranela Gronki, formerly Camila Maranela Pasquel Salazar, which had a little more Latin root to it, but it's okay. I came from Ecuador, Quito, Ecuador, when I was 9 years old in 2006. I came here thanks to the efforts that my mom and dad chose for me, the opportunity to seek out a better life for me and for my sister, and now my little sister as well. We came to Bensonville, Illinois, right when we got here. I went to school. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and I graduated. And thanks to an art professor that had faith in me more than I had faith in myself, she got me the privilege to go to the community college there. I then transferred to ISU to get my bachelor's in art, in which I use that space to speak on behalf of immigrants, to tell my story and all the immigrant stories like my parents, to share of the life that we have made here in the United States. That transferred over to working in Christian ministry and in Immigration Project for a little bit, which taught me what it really means to advocate for and with the immigrant population in Bloomington Normal. From then I transferred over to Western Avenue, where I am now, and I get the privilege to help with social services in the Hispanic community, advocate for and create programs that help the Hispanic people that reside here in Bloomington Normal. We welcome and help them navigate the systems in Bloomington. And now I have my husband and no children yet, but a cat named Mamacita. And I have loved being a part of both the United States and Bloomington Normal. I hope to one day be, have the privilege and honor to be a citizen of the United States, but for now I'm a resident. And I am a DACA recipient, thanks to the efforts that the government had during that time. I was privileged to be able to work and study, get a degree and use it here in the United States, which is not something everybody gets to do. So I speak and advocate for in my art practice, my job, and outside of that, my personal life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jana, and I should say that I'm very new in this city, and I'm very new in the United States as well. I came in the United States only in April of this year. I'm from Ukraine, and we are refugees from Ukraine. And I want to say a big thank you to all United States government for supporting Ukraine, and thank you for taking all us refugees here. It's very important for us to be safe. Sorry. Mostly my experience in the United States is very positive. I like Bloomington City. Here we have a good opportunity to study. We are students of Heartland College, and we are learning English here. Also, we feel as a part of community here. We already have a lot of friends here, and we came only a few months ago, and we already very good friends here. So I'm very grateful that I'm here. My family is part of my family is also here. Also, I want to say thank you for inviting me for this meeting. I was not expecting that it will be so official. So I'm very nervous now. And besides of this, English is not my native language. The difficulties in which we are struggling right now is that now we can't work, and we really want to be a full part of society, to pay taxes and to work. And it's very difficult for us because we are high educated people, and to not working, it's very difficult for us to sit and waiting. That's because we came and we don't have this work permission. We're now just waiting for this work permission. And I like Bloomington City because it's very positive and safe place, and family orientated city. I'm very impressed with all playgrounds because I have a baby, and we have chance to go on these playgrounds and to use all privileges of the citizen of United States. Thank you so much for helping Ukraine.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for inviting me to this meeting. I am from Venezuela. My name is Yudaine Castillo. Venezuela is a beautiful country in South America. I had been in the United States since 2018. I live here with my family, my husband, and my 2 sons. Some people, English is not my first language, it's Spanish, but I'm going to try to explain to you why I am here in the United States. And some people ask me, why are you here if your country is so beautiful, if your country is so rich? Venezuela, as you know, or maybe you don't know, is a very, very rich country with petroleum for all the world. But since 20 years ago, Venezuela has a criminal government. And in Venezuela, there's in this moment and from 20 years ago, several crises, a hard crisis, economical, political, is a social crisis. And because the government are delinquents and are criminals, and the goal of this government is to be rich day by day. And maybe in some place in all the world, there's one political Venezuelan living like a king, while the people in Venezuela is dying. In Venezuela, there's no health if the people is sick. Maybe in other country, people could get the sanation here, healing, but in Venezuela, it's probably that people die for a flu, for example, because there's no medicine, no medicine for the people. There's no, maybe people could be 10 or 15 days without water or without energy. People is dark and it's a very, very, very sad situation. In our case, me and my family, we are here in the United States because in Venezuela, we fight with again the government. He's my husband. Again the government, and our life was we need to preserve our life. If for this reason we came to the United States, and we are very gratefully, we appreciate all the help that the United States gave us. We are permanent resident in this moment, and we are so proud because we are almost to get the American dream. I have two sons, my husband and me have very good jobs. I work in immigration project, and I have the opportunity to help people that is in very hard situation as me, people of immigrant of all the world, Latin American, African, European persons. And I'm so proud, and I say, thanks God, because I live here in the United States and I live here in Bloomington, Illinois. I love this city, and I appreciate this opportunity to show you a little bit of the situation of my beautiful country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you. Rocio, did you want to add anything or?
Well, if you have any questions, I was not expected to give my little talk, but I'm also, of course, an immigrant. I came from Guatemala in 2009, and I came here because I met my husband back in Guatemala. He was a Peace Corps volunteer, and that's why I got the fortune to come here. But I pretty much lived all my life and went to school in Guatemala and abroad. And I'm also very fortunate that I am in this situation where I can also help my fellow immigrants in many, many ways. And this wonderful organization that we represent, the Immigration Project. So if you have any other questions for our presenters, please feel free to.
Sure, I think I'll start. I have a couple of questions. I'm fairly familiar with what tends to happen with immigrants and the reasons why they come, they seek a better life in other countries. But one of the things that I know happens with immigrants is oftentimes many of them have attained a high level of education in their original, in their countries of origin. And then when they come here, they're not always able to attain the same jobs that are related to their education. So I was kind of curious if they could share, the kind of education they received back in their home country, if they feel comfortable doing
I
so.
could briefly say that as it pertains to me. So I went to college, and my undergrad was in architecture, and then I did a master's in environmental studies, and both of them in Guatemala, and then I went to Spain to get a master's in conservation of biodiversity.
Mhm.
So in my home country, Guatemala, over the last years that I worked there, I was doing environmental consultant, but as it pertains to communities, like very rural communities, and I did a lot of work with women in rural areas to plan for use of natural resources and disaster prevention, because we have a lot of that in our small country, Guatemala, and it was in some ways very different, like my professional life here, than when I came, but I took it as a great opportunity. It's something that, well, I'm here, and what skills do I have to share, and everything comes to us immigrants as an opportunity. So I cannot complain, because I have done many things that I never thought I would do in Madison, Wisconsin, and also here. And it has a lot of the different jobs that I have gave me purpose.
Mhm.
And I'm very proud that I can share my skills and help other people. So it's different times in our lives and different situations that we take as opportunities. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In Ukraine, I had a master degree in economic and managing of restaurants, hotels, and touristic business. So I had my own chain of coffee shops, and another activity which I do, and because of this activity, I know English and I can speak English maybe better than some immigrants who came in the United States a few months ago. I was teaching Russian language for foreigners, mostly Americans and Europeans.
Awesome.
In Venezuela, I was teacher, and I feel blessed because in the United States, I am teacher too, because I work for 1.5 years in normal community high school. I was teaching assistant for help the Hispanic students in math, algebra, pre-algebra, and geometry. Now I am not in the high school anymore. I don't know in the future, but I know math because I am counting. In Venezuela, I work in a university teach accounting and marketing. And now I work in immigration project. I don't teach anything, but I help people, as I say a few minutes ago, I help people with issues and with immigration process and social process too. And I have I help that in the future I can come back to the school or the university, I don't know. Thank you so much.
Well, I was 9 when I was in Ecuador, so I wasn't yet working, but my mom got her master's in accounting and my dad has his master's in business. In the United States, they didn't have the privilege to use those, but they did get to work in sales, which kind of uses those degrees. But I know my mom hopes to one day, through applying for immigration relief, be able to use that again. Is that the same to come with a profession and have to, for many immigrants, have to switch to your profession from being a doctor or a nurse to cleaning hotels or nannying for somebody for less than minimum wage? So I know it's a difference and it's something that it's unfortunate, but they carry on and serve with their whole heart and mind to do the best that they can to push their family forward. Many families that come to Western Avenue, where I'm at now, have the story of working 3 to 4 jobs, 2 to 3 jobs, maybe, to really bring their family forward. So yeah, my parents had the privilege to use that to some degree, but I know not everybody does.
Thank you. Do you have a question? Councilman Gold?
I don't have a question. I just want to thank you so much for sharing your stories. And if ever there's anything that we can do, the elected or the city, please reach out. We're not scary. We're very friendly. So, and that's why you were invited here, because we do want to support the immigrant community. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Ward?
No, I also just wanted to say thank you for the presentation as the daughter of a first-generation immigrant and somebody who was not physically born in this country. I appreciate your stories. And if there's ever a possibility, Ward 7 really, really, really needs some coffee shops.
Any other question? Comments? No? Okay. Well, I also want to thank you. As you know, I'm also an immigrant, and I was able to come here and go to college and now enjoy a better life. My story is a little bit different, than others because I came for college, but not necessarily fleeing terrible situations, but I'm always very empathetic to those that have. So I want to thank you for sharing your story, because I know it's not always, not everybody's comfortable doing that. And oftentimes you hear about immigration in the news, and it seems like this, this sort of, far away story. But it's nice that you guys can put a face to it for us here locally. So we definitely appreciate that. And as Councilmember Bolin said, just stay in touch with us and, whatever we can do to help, we'll work amongst each other and staff, to help the community as well. Thank you. So the next item on the agenda is our deputy city manager's report, because city manager is not here.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. Phil and or Catherine, if you could put the slides up, I believe we have 4 slides tonight. First, as you know, we tend to try and honor and recognize new employees during the committee of the whole. So we do have many members of, not many, number of members to the police department, but also an employee to Public Works. And so as you can see on the screen, we have Alberto Vasquez, Justin Callahan, Ethan Schmidgall, Jesse Bame, Josh Hauk. And if you'll switch slides, please, Phil. Matthew Tribley, Austin Marburger, Corey Voles, and Jacqueline Clifford, all who are new members of the police department team. And we also have John Gilmore, who is a water maintenance worker in Public Works. So we want to welcome these new members to our team. Thank you. And Phil, if you'll switch slides, please. Classic cars and candy bars. Classic cars and candy bars. This event, I believe, actually grew out of COVID. It's a mix of car show and Halloween. And so you can attend Friday, October 14th from 3 to 5 at Miller Park. See some fantastic cars, but also kids and I guess grown-ups as well can bring their goodie bags and get candy as well. So Friday, October 14th, 3 to 5 p.m. at Miller Park. Next slide, please. And this one is actually a big one for us. Leah Marlene, I think everybody in the region knows of her success on American Idol, but she's actually going to be performing November 18th at the BCPA. And you don't want to miss this for a variety of reasons. One, it's going to be an intimate show. The BCPA is only, I think, 1,200 seats, I believe. And so to be able to see her in that intimate setting is going to be fantastic. I'm guessing that the way her career is going, that's not going to last long. And so I would encourage people to take that opportunity when they can. The other thing I'll tell you is that there are tickets that are available for $19. And so you're really not going to beat that. So BCPA, November 18th, tickets are still available. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. At this point, I'm going to ask for a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the performance compensation of a specific employee under Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act. And I would ask also for a second.
I'll move.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Ward, second by Councilmember Crumpler. Voice vote.
Yes, Councilmember Bolin,
Yes.
Councilmember Motney,
Yes.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Councilmember Urban,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Aye.
Councilmember Craybill,
Yes.
Councilmember Crumpler.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Council will next go into executive session. The room must be clear during executive session. Council will resume the open session meeting following executive session. However, no additional action will be taken except to adjourn regular session. Okay, thank you. We are now back in open session. And can I have a motion to return to open session and adjourn the meeting?
I'll make
Mo-
that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Bolin, second by Councilmember Ward. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we are adjourned.